everyone, it is finally time to connect my two small flower beds into one bigger and much more beautiful and something that actually makes sense because these two were like very weird. But as you can see, it is a lot of work to remove the lawn, especially because I have this really vigorous, very deep-rooted weed that I really can't fight in my garden. So it definitely takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I have another flower bed left, that is the hydrangea bed that I'm gonna connect eventually. But it is a matter of time and of course money. So for now, these two are good enough for me. This is the reason I hate removing the grass from my yard. It is this very deep-rooted weeds that have a whole network underneath the ground, and they have this really thick, very vigorous root system that is absolutely impossible to remove, and it is very easy to spot because when you take the grass, it has very shallow roots, but the weeds roots, look, they just stick out and they're really deep. And look, the weed looks like grass itself, so you have to dig to find out whether it is grass or it is the weed, and you definitely have to remove the whole root because otherwise it grows like crazy. If you leave the root on the ground, it's gonna peek through the soil in a matter of days. god, look at the sunset. How incredible is this? Hello everyone, it is the next day because as you saw yesterday I managed to do so much work in the garden and I was absolutely exhausted. It got dark and I just didn't manage to finish what I have planned for yesterday. But as you saw yesterday, I moved all these 4 salvias from here to the other flower bed that I extended yesterday. The reason is that when I bought this salvia, it was supposed to be Salvia Sensation Deep Blue Compact, and I got 8 of them, and 4 turned out to be very, very big. Early bloomers, they just don't have anything in common with the other 4. As you can see, they're very wide, very tall, and very ahead in terms of blooming. They're almost ready. Even some of them are already blooming, as you can see. And these 4 here stayed much more compact. They bloom in different time, and I just didn't like this discrepancy between these 8 plants here. So I moved these 4 salvias there, and I really want to take 2 of these and just move them here so that they will have a much bigger space between them. They will feel it will feel just much lighter, because I noticed last year that having all these very tightly packed planted salvias here in front of the hydrangeas created some sort of like, it was just the hydrangeas didn't have enough air. So I really want to give them more air, and I really don't want to pack all these plants in here in the border in front of the hydrangeas. Something that I don't know if you can see in the video from yesterday, but it turned out that this hydrangea, which is Little Lime Punch, has really, I mean, extremely shallow roots, to a point where I actually dig up some of them yesterday by accident, because when I was moving the salvias, the roots were very shallow and very wide, so they were a bit mixed up with the roots of the salvia, so probably some of them broke and some of them were just exposed. So I packed some compost on top of them, just trying not to lose the plant itself, because I really don't know how it's gonna feel when it has so many roots disturbed. It is a fairly new plant. It was planted last spring, but we'll see. I really hope it makes it. So that's it. The plan for today is only to move 2 salvias from here to here, so they will be evenly spread and hopefully they will grow the same way. I really want to move these 3 as well, but I'm not gonna do it right now. It is not urgent. They're quite big as well, and it was so difficult yesterday to move these big plants that I really don't want to repeat the process again, and I hope they just don't mind it. I would have moved them much earlier in the season, but I had no idea they're gonna be so big and so tall and so wide and so different compared to the other salvias. So I waited a bit too long, and yesterday it was I almost broke my back moving this, maybe because it was the end of the day and I was fairly exhausted from moving all the grass here. But I'm so happy that now I have this big flower bed, and I already ordered some plants for here. I have a plan for this space right here, and I'm gonna film it, but it's gonna be a video for another day, definitely. So let's finish the job from yesterday, and this is gonna be enough for me for today, because I'm still a bit sore from yesterday. I just wanted to make sure that I have the spacing right. That's why I first moved the plants. I wanted to put them here, see how it looks, and I think it is really nice. I'm so happy I don't have to move these 2. So 2 are enough for me for today. Now I'm gonna plant them. Look, This is the look, this is the root I was talking about. Look how shallow it is. It is literally a centimeter underground. I don't have high hopes for this, but let's see. So I'm almost done with this flower bed. The only thing that's left is to buy another few bags of compost, of course, because it is my hobby to go to the store and buy compost. It is literally daily, not daily, but weekly activity for my family. So I think this looks much better. It is more airy. The plants have much more space. This hydrangea here, as I said earlier, is a little lime punch. It's gonna grow much bigger if it survives. Of course, this is questionable, as we saw how we disturbed the roots, and I really hope it doesn't rely only on this couple of roots here. But this is a little lime punch. This is little hottie, and even though it is very tiny right now, this is because it almost died last year. If it grows, it's gonna be much more lush and big and full. And this is Bobo hydrangea, also much bigger. It's gonna get much bigger. So I think that this is much more well balanced. There is more space, there is more air. Because the thing about our summers is that they're not only very hot, extremely hot, but also the air is very stale. There is no breeze, there is no movement in the air, there is no wind. So the flowers definitely need more air, and there is something to be said about my flower bed, about my rose flower bed. As you can see here, I definitely overplanted. Look at this echinacea here, barely getting any sunlight, and this one here, almost surviving. But anyway, let's go back to the hydrangea bed. So yeah, I think I'm almost done. I'm gonna apply the compost, and I need to plant another hydrangea here, which is actually gonna be a standard tree. This is a hydrangea limelight, and I just can't decide where to put it yet. That's why it's not in the ground, but I'm gonna figure this out, and we're gonna discuss it in another video. Well guys, that was it for today's video. Thank you for spending some time with me in my garden. Hope to see you soon. Bye!